vehicles will soon be out and about, even on residential roads, a lot more, especially with Wichita Falls City Councilors passing a golf cart ordinance. Not only that, but ATVs are all the rage in the summer months. So how do you prevent tragedy on vehicles like these? A United Regional doctor explains in tonight's Healthy You. ATV, UTV, no matter their capability, off-road vehicles are a lot of fun and a lot of help, but they're also driving up injuries, especially this time of year.
ATVs account for more than 100,000 injuries seen in the ED and more than 500,000 mortalities annually throughout the nation, with Texas seeing its fair share of that relative to other states. Among riders less than 16 years of age, they account for nearly 30% of those injuries and 15% of those deaths.
Sometimes those not old enough to drive aren't just riders, they are the ones behind the wheel. It's especially common with golf carts, which Wichita Falls will soon see more of after city councilors passed an ordinance.
A lot of times these golf carts are also operated by children or younger adults, and they certainly have a higher disposition of being involved in an accident just from a pure judgment and experience standpoint, but also just not being appropriately trained to use them.
You could get a citation for it. You could receive a citation. In fact, the person who allows the unlicensed person to drive can receive a citation for that. And what could be even worse is something, God forbid that someone gets hurt.
To avoid someone getting hurt, United Regional Trauma Medical Director Alan Coleman says there are 4 rules to go by. He says not to drive under the influence, follow local laws, ordinances, and safety guidelines, ride responsibly, controlling your speed and watching the terrain, and wear safety equipment like a helmet.
Wearing a helmet can easily prevent a traumatic brain injury or a significant brain hemorrhage. And those are life-threatening and long-term implications to those injuries. The injuries that we commonly see are traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, fractures or crush injuries to extremities, and then injuries to internal structures of the chest and the belly.
Coleman says one of the most important things, too, is that you've been properly and completely trained on the vehicle that you're about to fire up.
Just being familiar with the techniques that are involved in dismounting from some of those vehicles. ATVs don't have seat belts specifically, and they are designed for that reason because they need for free mobility of the rider to make adjustments for the balance of the vehicle. And so they should be properly trained on how to bail from the vehicle when it's starting to flip over.
Off-road vehicles, golf carts, motorcycles, bicycles, we're sharing the road with a lot more now, and it's crucial both parties are aware of their surroundings.
A lot of the injuries we're seeing nowadays, especially more recently, are when they're being used on roads, paved roads specifically, and they weren't designed for those purposes.
Because at the end of the day, there will be others on the road, and things might as well ride smoothly. Coleman says they even saw more of an increase in motorcycles, bicycles, and off-road vehicles on the road during the height of COVID, which made injuries and deaths rise as well. All right,